All right. So this one time back in my elementary school years, it was during winter break. I was riding my skateboard that my uncle got me for Christmas, and I was riding it, and in the distance I saw a car that was crashed into a tree and almost about to fall down. You see, the way that part of the apartment complex was laid out, there was a hill and there was a tree, and if that tree collapsed, that car would have ran down that hill and into that apartment, and probably broken a window, or someone would have gotten hurt. Yeah, yeah. So there was a car crashed into a tree, and I was like, oh well, not my problem. And then I was skateboarding, and I didn't know how to stop, and it was my first time running a skateboard, and I tried to stop, but I tried dropping off my skateboard, and I busted my ass. But more like I busted my ass, and my leg hurt. So I guess my leg took the most damage. I was cursing up a storm. I think I also had tears in my eyes. I was walking back home with my skateboard, and like, it's best I sit in my head I was thinking, it's best I don't ride a skateboard until I learn how to ride a skateboard. And I end up learning how to ride a skateboard like like 2 summers ago. I ended up learning how to ride a skateboard, but that's not important right now. I was walking home, and then a lady, probably the owner of the car, was like, "You see that car right there? Yeah." And she said, "You did it." And I was like, "No." And I just kept telling her, "No, no, no." And then my little brother, I saw my little brother in the distance. He actually came looking for me. My mom sent him, and the lady said that I crashed her car into the tree. My brother said, "No, he didn't." And I was like, "No, I did not." So we went back home. We entered the apartment. Told my mom what happened, and I took pictures of it on my mom's old phone. And that day, they called the police. The police were called, and since I was accused of crashing it, they came to my house, talked to my mom, and my mom was really mad because I went outside alone, and they falsely accused me, and she said if I wasn't outside alone, I I hold up. Oh, okay. She was mad at me and said if if you weren't alone and you had someone with you, like Luis, for example, you would have had a witness, and you wouldn't have been accused. I was like, okay. I felt ashamed, even though I was accused of crashing that car. I still felt like it was my fault because they're probably gonna press charges against something I didn't do or something. And then the owners of the car came to my front door, and they had a chat with my mom. And then my mom called my dad. After that, I wasn't allowed to go outside for a while, which wasn't the first time she did something like that. When I got when I got in trouble outside, she would have said you're not going outside for a while, and I could still go outside. It's just I can only play around the balcony and the porch. So yeah, yeah, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna say a month or a year later, or yeah, I want to say a year or a month later. I mean, it was basically never mind. I want to say like a couple months later, my mom, my mom, my mom got back from work, and she told me those neighbors are gonna send me to court because of the damage of their car. And I was like, but I didn't do it. And I was like, I know. And my mom didn't have time to go to court. She had a job, So she really can't waste time going. She couldn't waste time going to court for something I didn't do. And yeah, they never ended up taking it to court. Fast forward like years later. I want to say it was the summer of or during COVID, and wait, no, not during COVID. And my mom's car was in the shop because something was going on with it. Like the car wouldn't start for some reason or something like that. I don't really remember. I mean, yeah, the car wouldn't start, and after a month or weeks of it being in the shop, they found out what the problem is. There was sugar or salt in the gas tank. And then my mom and my mom and my uncle were talking about it and was like, who would put sugar in the gas tank, and my uncle was like, couldn't that have been those neighbors that accused Angel of crashing their car into that tree? And I was like, wait, what? Were they really, like, would they stoop down to this kind of level? Like, would the neighbors actually do something like this? I was getting worried because I was getting flashbacks of how I was ashamed of being about being accused of doing something like that. Even though I didn't do it, I felt like it was my fault. And I think that might have been true because my uncle said that they also caught the neighbors doing something like that to like a random truck. But yeah, I decided not to think about it. I don't want to get flashbacks. And yeah, so so if you ever go outside alone, please have someone accompany you. I mean, you don't have to, but I recommend you have someone to accompany you. If you don't have someone to accompany you, that's fine. But I recommend you have someone accompany you when you go outside because something can happen, anything can happen, and they might accuse you. They might blame you. And and and, and if you don't have someone accompanying you, then no one would back you up on it. And I mean, you wouldn't. Someone could easily accuse you of something you didn't do, and you wouldn't have a witness to testify. You wouldn't have a witness with you to defend you. Yeah. Hope you like that story. Comment, like, and subscribe. Comment down below if you want to see more videos like this. Follow me on Instagram, Angel_Gray_David. Follow me on TikTok, DarkSonic692. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.
Look at you. Look at the sad state you're in right now. Why don't you look around? You seriously think Korea would approve of any of this? To what you've done to a precious home?